Good morning, Year 3, and welcome to our English lesson. So today we are carrying on looking at homophones. And remember, a homophone is a word that sounds the same, is spelt differently, and has a different meaning. So today, 2 tasks for you. The first task is to get yourself a timer somehow, whether it's just looking at the clock and noting down the time, or using Alexa, or if you have a stopwatch, or you have a watch that you want to look at yourself. I want you to set yourself your own challenge, timed challenge, to see how many homophones you can come up with in 5 minutes. Now, some of you might come up with 5 or 10. Some might come up with 20, 25, more. See how many pairs of homophones you can come up with. Words that sound the same, but are spelt differently and have different meanings. That's your first task. The second task is to choose 1 or 2, or maybe your favourites, out of that list that you've come up with. And I want you to create those into a poster. Now, some of you have had a sneaky peek. If you remember back to Monday's lesson, I showed you a little sneaky peek of what I have in mind. And, oh yes, there's a bit of Mrs. Crowson artwork for you coming up. So take a deep breath, because I know this is the highlight of your week. I chose the word flower, the homophone flower. Now, it can be spelt 2 different ways, obviously. It's a homophone. It sounds the same, spelt totally differently, and it has a very different meaning. So here we have flower and flower. Flower that grows in your garden, that smells beautiful and creates lots of joy. And flour we use for baking, making bread, pancakes, cakes, brings lots of joy. So they both create joy for people, but spelled completely differently and have different meanings. I would like you to choose some words from your list that you created and create your own posters. Now, it may be that you only choose 1 pair of homophones and you create the best poster ever. But I really want it to be fantastic and you've taken time over it. Or it may be that you get a chance to do 3 or 4 posters, but they need to be good. Okay, this is about learning homophones that make sense to you. Okay, so 2 tasks. First, time yourselves to see how many homophones you can come up with. That's a really exciting one. The next task is to choose some of the homophones from your list to create your own posters. Upload them on Shobi. Let me see what you come up with.